Lakers president of basketball operations Rob Pelinka has been cooking in silence all summer, building the roster for this team. He signed DeAndre Ayton as LA's new starting big, acquired Jake LaRavia as an upside wing player, and added a defensive-minded person in Marcus Smart. The biggest deal he's done, however, was his most recent one. On Saturday, the team announced that Luka Doncic signed a 3-year, $165 million extension with the Lakers, securing their young superstar. During the press conference for Luka, Pelinka detailed how every move made this season was geared towards putting a team together that can maximize Doncic's talent and get Los Angeles closer to a title. In conversations with Luka, it was really important for us to get a lob-catching center, and we feel like getting DeAndre Ayton was huge, Pelinka said. It's going to unlock so much in Luka's game. As you can tell, in the pick-and-roll reads, he's the best in the world, and I think DeAndre is going to help. Our thesis for our roster was to get younger, and I think getting some 3 and D players like Jake LaRavia that we could add at his age, having wings that can shoot and play on both sides of the ball was really important. And then being able to add Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year a couple years ago, I think a chip on his shoulder to be back at that level and put the league on notice. I think having players like that surrounding both Luka and LeBron, guys who can defend multiple positions, is really important. We like the upgrades we were able to make to the roster, but by no means are we going to be satisfied. I think every year, we're on an infinite cycle to try to improve this team and win championships, and we'll stay committed to that work. With LeBron James opting in, Luka extended, and center depth improved, the Lakers are better entering the fall than they were at the end of the spring. While Lakers fans are never satisfied, the only complaints they can have regarding the job Pelinka has done this summer are based on unrealistic expectations they had regarding trade scenarios that never existed. In the real world, the Lakers have improved a roster that won 50 games last year. They should also expect to get better internally. Head coach JJ Redick now has a year of experience under his belt, and Luka is entering his first full season in a purple and gold uniform. So, while the rest of the NBA world might scoff at improvements in the margins, let's see how things look once games are played and results are coming in. If they start hot, we'll be seeing Pelinka doing press conferences during the season, happy to talk about how good the 2025-26 Lakers are. The Los Angeles Lakers knew they had to find off-season talent to fill holes in their roster that were prevalent by the time they lost in the first round of the playoffs. They went out and got DeAndre Ayton at center and Marcus Smart at guard, 2 players who've had ups and downs in their careers. While Ayton is a former first overall pick and Smart is a Defensive Player of the Year, Bleacher Report named both as some of the most overrated players in the NBA since 2020. While the Lakers signed both in an attempt to bolster their roster, specifically defensively, Ayton and Smart might look better on paper than on the court. Ayton's defensive engagement is prone to mountainous peaks, yet even starker valleys. Ditto for his presence on the glass. His teams have defended better with him on the floor exactly once since 2020-21, Dan Favale wrote on Ayton, before then mentioning Smart. Out of the 155 other players to attempt as many shots since 2020-21, Smart's 50.1 effective field goal percentage ranks 143 RD. Smart looked out of his depth when used as an on-ball initiator long before leaving the Boston Celtics. Ayton and Smart signed with the Lakers after agreeing to contract buyouts with the Portland Trail Blazers and Washington Wizards. While Los Angeles was hoping for bigger-name players, they got these 2 for a combined $13.2 million in 2025-26. Ayton's steady fall before joining the Lakers. Even early in his career, few people saw Ayton as the top player in his draft class. But his fall over the past few years was something not many expected, especially after his performance helping the Phoenix Suns make the 2021 NBA Finals. But since then, things haven't been great. Favale highlighted problematic behind-the-scenes behavior, defensive shortfalls, lack of ability to get shots up at the rim or from the free throw line, all on a big contract, which makes him a perfect fit for this list. Iztok Franco of the Diggin' Basketball Substack recently ranked Ayton as the 7th best center in the West, ahead of names like Isaiah Hartenstein, Derek Lively II, and Walker Kessler, Favale added. Yet he still needed to note that there's also a real chance he falls out of the top 10, maybe even the top 15 if he doesn't turn things around in Los Angeles. Before signing the 2-year $16 million deal with the Lakers this summer, Aton had a 4-year $132 million contract with the Suns that he signed in 2022. The counting statistics are there. Aton has averaged at least 16 points and 10 rebounds a game for his entire career, one of only 7 players in the league to do so. But it's the way he gets there and the space he takes up on the court that leads him to land on the most overrated players since 2020 list. Smart went from DPOY to barely staying on the court. Smart's had a similar path to Aton, but one with higher peaks and lower valleys. He was a fan favorite in his time with the Celtics, playing on the green and white for the first 9 years of his career. In 2022, he became the first guard to win Defensive Player of the Year since Gary Payton did it in 1995-96. But since then, Smart has had a steep decline. Much to do with injuries, but also the fact that the defensive production fell off a cliff. There's also something to be said about a body of defensive work that hasn't quite lived up to its legend, Favale wrote. The level of responsibility he carries will always be immense, but even during the season in which he won Defensive Player of the Year, 2021-22, there's a real debate to be had about whether he was even the most valuable defensive player on his own team. Smart has played in just 54 games over the past 2 years, going from a consistent starter in Boston to someone barely seeing time on the floor with pretty low efficiency numbers. He has shot only 38.8% from the field in his career, and though previously considered a reliable perimeter defender, brings little to the table on the offensive side of the ball. He's finished higher than the 19th percentile in turnover rate just once these past 5 years, Favale added. The passing struggles have reached new levels of alarming in his, admittedly, few appearances post-Beantown. The Lakers didn't make a massive gamble signing Aton and Smart, but are they going to be the difference between a first-round exit and a championship? Probably not. Atlanta Hawks superstar guard Trey Young is reportedly disappointed that he hasn't been offered a new contract extension, leading to chatter that he may be traded before the 2026 trade deadline. So, the question beckons, where do the Los Angeles Lakers stack up in the betting odds for his next destination? It turns out the Lakers don't feature in the top 6 betting favorites to land Young. According to online sportsbook Bovada, the Orlando Magic, plus 250, are the odds-on favorites to be Young's next team, followed by the Brooklyn Nets, plus 290, Sacramento Kings, plus 375, Phoenix Suns, plus 450, Houston Rockets, plus 575, and Miami Heat, plus 700. The betting odds make sense, given that the Lakers already have a crowded backcourt featuring Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Marcus Smart, Gabe Vincent, and Bronny James. As such, it's not surprising that the Lakers don't feature in the potential sweepstakes for Young, a ball-dominant guard who may not fit in with J.J. Redick's system. Trey Young disappointed with Hawks. According to ESPN's Mark Spears, Young, who is on an expiring contract, is unhappy with the Hawks for not offering him an extension. The 4-time All-Star is widely expected to turn down his $49 million player option for the 2026-27 season and test free agency, unless the Hawks make him an offer beforehand. What I'm hearing now, at this point you can tell by Trey's tweet, and I saw him during the finals, I think he's disappointed that it hasn't come, it hasn't been offered, Spears said. So don't be surprised if he plays this out and sees what happens next summer. The tweet Spears was referring to came in the form of a cryptic post from Young, who reacted to the contract stalemate between Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. This why you pay the man early, when someone will take less early to stay in a place he wanted to be forever. You do it, the price only goes up now. Young wrote on X, reacting to Parsons' explanation for requesting a trade. Get what you deserve, bro. Lakers not done making moves. The Lakers have had a busy offseason that has seen them shore up their rim protection and perimeter defense with the additions of Jake LaRavia, DeAndre Ayton, and Marcus Smart. Furthermore, the franchise inked Doncic to a 3-year, $165 million maximum extension, coronating the Slovenian as the new face of the purple and gold. According to multiple insiders, The Lakers continue to monitor the situation surrounding Chicago Bulls big man Nikola Vucevic, who could be bought out, and still haven't given up hope on adding either Al Horford or Kevin Love. Furthermore, the Lakers could also lock up Austin Reeves to a contract extension before the start of the 2025-26 season, with ESPN's Tim Bontemps reporting that they could offer him up to $30 million per season. "I think he'll get $30 million plus," one executive told Bontemps. The expectation, from both that executive and others, is that Reeves ultimately will return to Los Angeles, which would cement Reeves' role as the long-term running mate next to Doncic in LA's backcourt, the role once held by Jalen Brunson then Kyrie Irving in Dallas, Bontemps added.